Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nerds with Dice. This is the second of the final two Pride with Dice. Yes, Pride with Dice charity streams. Today, we are raising funds until to five for Translatin Coalition. I am Okami, and I will be your guide. Today, despite what the graphics said earlier, we are presenting an interlude of A Season's Oath, a Wanderhome actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A West Marches, Hexcrawl, and OSR inspired folkloric journey with a rotating cast of travelers who weave in and out of the saga. All of them are seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. A road that will take them to many forgotten and sacred places all over Hythe. This one shot will showcase the full rules of Wanderhome by Possum Creek Games, including the seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and natures, and Day Dragon's Patreon homebrew magic rules. To donate to the Translatin Coalition, you will see the Tiltify link in the chat or use the QR code in the overlay if there is one. Please donate if you can. We also have some fun incentives to add color and wonder to our journey. If you donate $5, the travelers will get a token that any may use or save. For $15, you can introduce a new Kith, which are the NPCs. A Kith named that has not yet been met by the travelers on their current journey is introduced to the scene, such as from the backstory of one of the travelers or from the current place they're exploring. If all named Kith have been met, then the group will look to the common animal folk of the place they're visiting and create a new Kith to meet and interact. For $25, we have two different incentives. One is the travelers will discover a relic, a special kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler who carries it with a supernatural trait, as if they themselves were a kith. Each relic also has a unique bit of Hythe lore that comes with it. A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. Or for $25, you can confer a magic trait. A traveler will gain either the first level in a new path of magic or a second level in a path of magic they already have, deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We also have a mini donation goal just for this stream. For every $50 we raise, we will awaken a folklore. The folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with is immediately brought into the current scene or immediately after. Now, let us introduce our cast of travelers. We're going to popcorn it around. Please introduce yourself, your pronouns, and then introduce us to your character via name, playbook, animal, pronouns, and maybe a little bit about what they look like, just to give a picture for our audience. I am Okami, pronouns he, they, and I will be the guide. I will be playing all of the different NPC kits that they meet, and I will also be playing the places. Once again, as the guide, my pronouns are he, they. And I'm going to popcorn it over to our bridge player who has traveled with us in several interludes before, Taylor.
Hello, I am Taylor Felicity. I use she, her pronouns. Today I'm playing Star the Exile, who also uses she, her pronouns. Star is a Selkirk Rex cat, which means she has a very snub nose and she has very curly fur that looks a little scrunkly. She is a yellowy white cat who normally wears a big, like, faux fur white cape, but since we are are in the desert today, and also since it is hot where I am, she's opted for this kind of yellow linen cape to protect herself from the sun, but not be overheated. And I'll popcorn it over to Bear.
Hello, hello. I am the Suit Bear. My pronouns are they, he. And I will be playing Parsley the Ermine using the Historian Playbook, pronouns they, them. Parsley is a little bit of a light tannish color, carries around a large briefcase with them wherever they go. Is a little bit shabby, a little bit tired looking, but always very excited to learn more about everything that's going on around them. And I'll go ahead and popcorn over to Irvi.
Hello, howdy, hi. My name is Irvi Fitz. My pronouns are they, them, and I'll be playing Hatteras the Squirrel. His pronouns are he, him, and he is going to be a little bit of a rascal and will look just as such. He's got himself a nice little deck of playing cards and a fun little pack of smokes. Wears some fingerless gloves and just generally has a little bit of a, squirrely disposition about him. It is important to note that he both lacks a tail and a shadow. Oh, and I got popcorn at the people. We'll popcorn that over to Tay.
Hello, I am Tay. If you see me react to Taylor's name, it's because it's also my name. My pronouns are she, her, and today I will be playing Silver Petal, who is a quokka and is in the Dreamer playbook. A quokka is like a little tiny sort of marsupial, vaguely rodent-like, but also a little kangaroo-like. And she's got like tan brownish fur and just sort of a gentle disposition. And I will popcorn it to Keith.
Hi, I'm Keith, he, they, and today I'll be playing the peddler Cheat, who's also he, they. Cheat is a magpie with very iridescent blue plumage, and they offset that with a patterned orange vest that they wear that catches a lot of people's attention when they go through town. And they are leading their pack beetle, whose shell has been carved in the way that. Have you guys seen some camel owners who use like clippers to like shave the fur on their camels? It's kind of like that, like these swirly IV designs on my beetle.
I love it. I love it so much. So at the beginning of every journey, I like to answer 4 important questions. First, what sort of place did you all just travel from? We've all been together for a while. Where are you coming from? What was the last place you were at? And as many of you can throw in details as you like.
We're currently in a desert, correct?
Yes.
It needs to be the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like rainforest or something.
Oh yeah, rainforest, someplace wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that. I think that would be really, really, really interesting. Is there anything that Cheat, Parsley, or Star would like to add that was meaningful to them about the place you just came from?
I think Parsley was impressed by just the abundance of plant life. The roots and the fruits and the vegetables and all the greenery.
But like in chaos, right? Not organized.
In chaos, absolutely.
The settlement where we stopped, they had a like an incense that they took from drying the bark of a specific tree.
Nice. Would you say that you have like a supply of it for barter now?
I think I have a few sticks of that, yeah. Okay. So I carry the scent of this rainforest with us.
Yeah. So it's more for personal use than than wears. Would you say?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zoe likes it. The little small god in the shrine.
Hmm. They love it.
And how about you, Star? Like, how did you feel about this wet, chaotic forest with lovely incense?
The wet, not so much of a fan, I think, but I think it would be interesting. I know something that this place we're going to has is a lot of fish-headed demons. So I think maybe it would be interesting if that's something the two places have in common. If like the nature of them, I think is different. Like it's a different kind of fish. The first thing that comes to my mind when I'm thinking of like rainforest is like piranha or something like that. Yeah. So maybe piranha headed demons. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just imagining these like piranha headed demons with like little tiny bodies.
Yeah.
And just like big eyes and big teeth.
Yeah.
Just
I
like,
love them.
yeah, I will grant you 3 wishes for some meat. Kind of Muppety looking.
This is how
yeah.
I lost my tail.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
no.
your tail.
That's how you lost your tail.
You gave it to a piranha in exchange
Gave
for
it to
what?
Piranha.
In exchange for I don't
Living?
know, a beautiful new deck of playing cards.
Oh.
Playing cards that
Endless
win
smokes.
every other game. Endless
It's just
smoke.
the
Whoa.
A patch
patch
of endless
constantly.
smoke. I love that.
Oh, that's fun.
It's worth it.
Do we feel the journey has been long?
With these guys, never.
In
But in
contrast,
all actuality, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Star, even if it's a short journey, always feels like it's long. She's pretty old, and I think travel is pretty hard on her. So I think
Mhm.
even when we're traveling for like a couple hours, she's like, I need to sit down.
Right.
So it always feels long.
Cheat and Parsley. You have. What about you two? And then Silver Petal. Has it felt long?
I think it hasn't felt long, but it is long.
Okay.
Yes, the journey has been a long one, but with such good traveling companions, one can never grow too bored.
Cheat is kind of used to life on the road, but it feels a little less long now that he has people to travel with.
Yeah. Our next question. Is there somewhere we hope to go?
So I'd love to find a big pile of loot.
A big pile of loot. Okay.
Yeah, if there's a loot in the loot, that's also great. But like that's the in goal site. Is I want. It doesn't even have to necessarily be like a treasure, but something. I accidentally hit the magical thing that makes my voice amplify for everybody. I am so sorry. But of value, something. I like to take things.
I got you. Everyone else, what are and remember, no is an answer, or not really, but
I think Silver
Usually,
Petal's
Cheat
just-
doesn't have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Usually, Cheat doesn't have a destination, but they have been having strange dreams about the desert recently.
Ooh, okay. Dreams about the desert. What about you, Silver Petal? You had started with something.
I think for me, it is very much about the journey and not the destination.
100% what Silver Petal said. It is Parsley is hoping to continue to go and learn, and once he has too much learnings to keep in his brain, he's going to go back home and write it all down again.
Yes. And what about you, Star? In this moment in your journey, is there somewhere you hope to go?
Yeah, I think it might be Ozuna is where I'm like, I don't think that's like my final destination, but I know the holiday for this season of the moon dance. I
Mhm.
think I want to celebrate it in Ozuna, especially because one of the traditions is the ceremonial marriage of the moon, and I think maybe I've
Mhm.
been like invited to this.
Right.
Like
Okay.
they've like
I mean,
asked me to come.
you've been around a long time, so you feel that the people that live in Azuna have sent you a letter, have sent you an invitation.
Yeah, if that works for your
Yeah,
plans.
absolutely. Um, and finally, but silently, in our heads, where is my home? And with that, let's begin our journey. Our travelers find themselves in a territory in Hythe known as Ozuna, an ancient fallen city in the heart of the desert sands that surround a well traveled ancient road. This road was first built during the reign of the last empress and served as the de facto imperial capital. Even after the city's imperial leadership fell in the last beautiful war to the forces of the lightning dancers, the common folk who worked the land, respected the small and forgotten gods, survived the war's earth shattering terror. They rose up to repair the broken old imperial road. The Azuna Kith maintained small, nomadic, yet self sustaining towns and villages built out of the ruins of the fallen city of Azuna. Folklore says the crossroads at the heart of Azuna is a place where a path leads to any destination a traveler desires to go, exists. A powerful manifestation of Azuna Kith's devotion to the road, which serves as a crossroads at Hythe for all of its other roads. Once a divine being of conquest, held imprisoned by the last empress to conquer the globe, now a free, wild god of freedom, travel, and hope. The Kith of Azuna welcome strangers, especially those who are travelers, and are more than willing to offer their hospitality and treat them as family. There is a pilgrim slash exile who is a lion known as Kor, who has a strange map that leads to this place, and a bear orchidist by the name of Deep Green, who knows where Azuna is by heart and knows all its folklores. The natures of this place is that it is a ruin, a once gleaming place that has fallen into disrepair and collapse. It is a road, a place that exists for traveling through. And it is a desert, an empty place without any of what you want or need. The aesthetics of Azuna are the foundations of something massive, crumbling pillars, cairns along the path, grooves in the ground, sand that goes on forever, and floating pillars of stone. This place can always, and these are the moves that I, the guide, will be taking to bring this place to life. And I invite all of you, my travelers, if you wish, to also take these moves to bring this place to life. It is not a requirement, but it is an invitation to do so. This place can always describe what used to be here before, show consequences for the actions of the past, ask, do you know what once mattered here? Give them a token if they don't. Describe something passing by. keep someone from getting where they're trying to go. Push someone forward and give them a token. Describe the emptiness of the world. Show someone lost and wandering. Tell someone the path will be longer and more treacherous than they thought, and give them a token. The folklores of this place are the gate to the heart of the world, the pact of the Crossroads Shrine, the Opa Daemon's whispers to the wandering prophet. Common animal folk are camels, desert mice, and Gila monsters. Small and forgotten gods are sphinxes, Opa daemons, and shades. The holiday that is being celebrated currently in Ozuna is the Moon Dance. The last night of Breathe is the Moon Dance, when communities gather to dance beneath the light of the moon and welcome Silt. Now, Breathe is sort of a late summer, early autumn season, while Silt is autumn. It is late autumn, like past the harvest, or rather right at beginning of harvest, pushing into the final months of autumn. The traditions of Moon Dance are everyone staying up until the sun rises, a bonfire burning blue, ethereal white robes, and the ceremonial marriage of the moon, and cheerful and merry jigs. During the holiday, everyone can always, and these are additional moves that you have access to, get a token whenever you spot a constellation in the sky. Describe its shape and tell everyone what you call it. You can spend a token to make a promise you never want to break. You can feel the dance's rhythm in your bones. Now, the lore for this specific region around Moon Dance is during the Moon Dance, the Kith of Ozuna use percussive instruments such as tambourines, hand drums, maracas, and handpans. Their dances are more lively and upbeat than in other places of Hythe. And so, beneath your feet are massive, flat, red ochre stones that have been closely mortared together in a comfortable, warm road that is expansive and winding through massive desert dunes. The sun is beaming down on you from high above, a few fluffy white clouds occasionally giving you respite. As you head down this road, you can see the grooves within it, small grooves within it from various carriages and carts that have traveled along. The massive floating pillars hovering around you, the occasional half crumbled statue staring down at you from either side of this wide, expansive road. With every step moving closer and closer, and seeing less of the endless dunes and more of structures that are half crumbled and providing bits and pieces of shade onto the main road. Silver Petal, what object do you spot as you're traveling the road with your friends that you saw in a dream last night?
Object. I think, given that it's a desert, it's very rare to see something shiny. So I think as we're walking just off the path a little bit ahead of us, there's a golden locket. And the clasp is not rusted shut, because that would belie rain, I think, but it's broken in some way that makes it near impossible to open. It's just like the clasp of it was glinting off the sun in the sand. And I saw that in my dream.
Okay. What do? Do you head towards it? Do you pick it up? Do you continue to walk by?
I think I pointed out to Hatteras because I know he wants shiny things in general, but also.
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna point out something shiny in the sand, I'm gonna pick up something shiny in the sand. And when if it doesn't want to open, this is a whole thing now. We're about to spend the rest of this walk trying to make this thing open.
Right.
Because-
Hatteras, would you pick up this beautiful golden locket and you're looking at it? There's a tall statue of perhaps a desert mouse that's face is half crumbled off, that is looking down at the road. It's wearing like long robes and is holding a staff, which is also half broken. And the mouse is sort of looking down with like the seriousness of like a guardian or a sage. I'm going to ask you the question: do you know what once mattered here?
I don't think Hatteras does.
Okay.
To be honest.
Right.
He tends to be a little bit more in and of himself at times.
Yeah.
And very much running. I don't think tries to look at the past as minimally as possible.
Right. Take a token. As this moment of the past just sort of washes over you, and you continue kind of down the path with Silver Petal attempting to pop open this locket. Silver Petal, go ahead and take a token for doing something kind and not expecting anything in return, because Hatteras really likes shiny things. You easily could have taken that locket for yourself. The three of you notice that Hatteras and Tay have a new project as they're trying to open this locket that is going on. I'm going to describe. I'm going to take a moment to describe something passing by as you see what appears to be what looks like a desert mouse up on a giant kite in the air with like goggles, that's sort of just flying around along the wind, lands on a distant pillar off the side of the road. They wave to you all in like a very friendly manner before kicking off of the pillar and flying further down the road. Is there anyone wants to shout at them? Well, because you would have to. Or do you just sort of let them pass? Don't want to put words in your mouth. What would you all like to do in response to this desert mouse just sort of flying in and waving hi and then flying back?
I think I look around at the rest of the group.
Goes,
I look around at the rest of the group.
No, we got nothing. We're just gonna chill. We're just chilling. Hello, hello. Can y'all hear
Oh,
me?
yes.
I think, yeah.
Can you
Star
hear?
was saying something.
Yeah,
Can you hear
can you hear
us?
Star?
Yes.
No,
Can you
I
hear
can't
me?
hear
Oh.
Star. And actually, I think Star has
Oh.
appeared for me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. Let me
Oh.
try. Let me try
Uh-oh.
refreshing because
Technical
that
Oh,
usually
and
works.
difficulties.
Star disappear from the stream? No, Star's still on
No.
the stream.
Star's still on the stream.
Yeah,
Soup
it's
disappeared
probably
from the stream.
nice to see
Okay.
you.
Soup
Here
is
we go.
back.
Okay.
It's probably a video.
I can hear you now, Taylor.
Okay.
All right, Star, what do you say?
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why
think
I can hear tech gremlins, people.
yeah, sometimes video, if that does happen to anyone else, if you stop being able to see someone, just refresh the browser. That usually
Gotcha.
fixes it. Well, oh yes, I think I look around at everyone and I say, sorry, let me now my actual voice is not working. I look around at everyone and I say, does anyone want to join that little creature up in the sky?
I mean, I've been up there.
In
It's
the
pretty nice,
sky.
actually.
It is.
Pretty windy.
I think I look at I look at you and I say, what was it that I have to say? Well, would you hold on to me?
Of course.
As soon as you
like a
do, yeah, as soon as you do, I use my magic of flight. So I ask, would you hold on to me? If they do, the two of you lift into the air together. You may walk together in the sky and remain in the air as long as both of you remain in contact. If either of you let go, you both drift slowly to safety. So as soon as you grab my hand, we like whoosh up into the sky. And I think it does, like, because it describes it as walking, I think it does look like we're just like kind of walking up in the air together. And I
love
start
that.
walking over to this mouse on a kite. And I just look like real unusually happy. I think usually I look pretty grumpy, but up in the sky and
Yeah.
like there's not as much gravity, my joints aren't in as much pain. So I think I give you like a little twirl.
I think in response to this, your stag beetle looks up and it's like, ooh. And this little like globule of light, which is Zoe, pops out. There's like a little shrine. What does the shrine look like on the back of the beetle that Zoe
I think it's
is
a
in?
carving.
It's
a carving that blends in with the rest of the pattern on my beetle.
Yeah. So I think Zoe has decided today to manifest as a little globule of blue light, and emanating from this globule of blue light is a rather like shrill and panicked voice that says, "Oh my, what? Don't worry, friend. We'll catch up with them." And they make the possible impossible as they're miraculous. And all of a sudden, whoop, the stag beetle just sort of butt first, like starts floating up in the air and is like bobbing along and like following the two of you in the air as you're heading up to this mouse. When you get closer to the mouse, who's sort of flying around, the mouse is dressed in layers and layers of cotton, like kind of off-white, brown, sandy colored cotton that's kind of loose and flowing. At this point, he's got like a covering over his mouth, and he's just like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" And he's like drifting on the air currents higher up in the sky. And there's a little bit of like billowing, like the magic is keeping the four of you stable, but you can feel that up above the city, the ruins of the city, there are really strong air currents that are kind of flowing in between the pillars and the rocks that are still jutting in the air. But you're able to hold a conversation as he's just sort of holding on to the updrafts. And he's like, "Oh, hello. Would you be the citrine star?"
I think I like kind of put my finger to my
I'm
mouth
sorry.
like
I'm
this.
sorry, Miss Star. You're the guest, right? That's coming to celebrate Moon Dance with us.
Yes, myself and some friends, and I saw you up here whizzing around, and I said to my friend here, Cheat, I said, wouldn't it be nice for us to join them and a little bit easier from how you usually fly? Isn't that right, Cheat?
Very, very different. I will say this is a little bit easier to maintain, though. Not too much arm power.
That's an incredible piece of magic that you have there. I have to rely on the updraft to be able to fly. Look, just you and your companions, just follow me, and I'll lead you to the settlement. Well, where the settlement is now. It's changed since the last time that you were here. I'm sure. Nara is waiting for you. It's going to be a little bit longer as I make the move. It's gonna be a little bit longer and more treacherous because we've moved than you originally anticipated. But I'm one of the yeomen of our tribe. My name is Fuerte. So just follow me. And he just starts flying off.
Yeah, I wave down to the rest of the group and kind of give like a gesture of like follow us. And continue flying, because if it's going to be a long and treacherous journey, I'm not setting my feet back on the ground.
I do want to point something out to you in specific, Star. This is a young face, old person situation.
Oh.
Even though the voice was high pitched, you notice that there are wrinkles in the corner of his eyes. You notice that there's gray tufts of fur. You notice that, like, even though he's holding like tightly with a lot of strength onto the kite, that his hands are a little arthritic. Like this was an old man that has held on to his youth and is in peak condition.
I think I look impressed. I think Star is not as frail as she lets on. She likes to be pampered, but she is still kind of old. So
Yeah.
I think is impressed is thinking like, I would not be able to hang on to a kite.
Yeah.
I can barely hang on to Cheat.
And he kind of like continues on like flying, and as the rest of the group, you guys are just sort of, you notice that the mouse is kind of slowed down, and occasionally will drop and stop, and is now you're being led somewhere, but the direction you're going, like sometimes the road turns and winds. At a certain point, you see like in the distance, like a weird wall of wind and dust is coming. And you see Fuerte kind of dipped and dived down to the ground. I want to say this is about maybe an hour and a half. You're still trying to open the locket, by the way. It's really damaged in some way. I do want to give Parsley, Hatteras, and Silver Petal an opportunity. Are there any moves that you would like to take during this hour before Fuerte dips down as a sandstorm is coming your way? Is there anything in that hour that you would like to do?
I think watching them in the air, both like walking and sort of flying, it makes Silver Petal really happy, because especially the sort of walking of Star and Cheat feels very reminiscent of how I feel when I'm dreaming, sort of walking through.
Yeah.
And so I start talking about, I start thinking about just like the way that I feel in dreams and how that feels or how that probably feels for them to be like walking through the sky. And that would be take a moment to watch a tiny moment of beauty and describe it to the table.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and take a token for that. How about you, Hatteras? Is there any kind of moves that you want to do while you've got this locket in your hand and while you're going on this kind of what feels like a detour, but a guided one?
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know necessarily how I'm going to feel about us going in the wrong direction. In my personal opinion, we could just go straight forward, you know. But this isn't my territory, so it's got to have something good in it. Maybe the secret to the next acorn. But I got a bad feeling about all this, you know. Just got a bad feeling, and it's not about the locket. The locket's gonna be perfectly I'm so sorry. It's gonna be perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with a rusty locket, and I'm not gonna. That's bad on my tongue.
I got you. How about you, Parsley? Is there any moves or things you'd like to do in the next hour as you're following a flying, somehow hale and hearty elderly desert mouse that's flying through the sky, and your friends are also following them in the sky?
I think I'm doing something very similar to what Silver Petal is doing. I'm watching them in the sky. I'm especially watching Fuerte, though. How he picks up and catches the air currents, how he dips and how they carry him upward, how he turns himself. And Parsley will say under his breath to himself, "In all my travels, it never ceases to be something that amazes me about this world." And so that's the moment. Take a moment to bask in the grandeur of the world.
Nice. All right. Go ahead and give yourself a token. You, like I said, you get to the end of this hour, and then Fuerte like flies down. And as he's flying down, he's like, "We should land. I'm gonna lead you all to shelter. There's a sandstorm coming." He lands on the ground in front of the three of you, kind of waiting for Cheat and Star to catch up. And he drops on the glider, and he like lifts it up, and then all of a sudden it goes click 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 click, and it all folds together into like one piece that he's able to like holster on his back. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Fuerte. I'm one of the yeomen of the Ozuna people. I am going to be your guide. Normally, I would continue the trip, but we have a sandstorm coming, so follow me." And you see him heading towards like a giant, like cylindrical pillar, like on the side of the road, that has like an archway carved into it. However, I would never deign to tell my travelers what they do. So, what do you all do in response to this desert mouse that's running into this ruin?
I follow.
Okay. Is everyone
Parsley's
else
also going to follow. Yes.
Parsley's also going to
Yeah,
follow.
also following.
Okay.
I'm going to also follow, but I'm going to do something I can always do and keep an eye on the exits.
Oh, okay. So there are two exits. There is the entrance that you're going into. You're going into like a circular stone tower. And then the second exit is maybe like 20 feet up. And it looks like this place used to have like a staircase that would go up. It doesn't anymore. It's all been like crumbled. and there's a ceiling that you think is probably the roof. Like maybe this was a watchtower. So like floor for the top, ceiling, but it's all been like what you assume might have been the top of the staircase is just crumbled away and open. And he sort of like leads you all in there, and you see that there's like a barrel, there's some rolled up like bedrolls, there's some candles. Actually, no, not candles. We're in the desert. There's some lanterns, like oil lanterns that are nearby. As he's like, yeah, this is one of our sandstorm way stations. Give me a few moments as he grabs like a roll of canvas, and you see him literally like bounce like against like kangaroo mouse style against the walls up 20 feet and catch, and he essentially is starting to like pull some pigeons out, like metal pigeons, and is like like, and he's trying to cover the area that's open with canvas. What do the rest of you do?
You need help? You got it? You good?
That would be great.
Okay. And Hatteras is going to squirrely his way on up towards yonder hole.
Yeah, he hands you once you manage to like squirrel up there, he hands you some pittons and an extra mallet that he has. And the two of you are able to completely cover this opening in the ceiling with just raw, like thick, like have any of you ever seen like Bedouin tents? It's that same kind of thick, heavy duty canvas, just sort of covering a way to block any sand coming in from the storm. Hatteras, take a token for helping someone without expecting anything in return. As they create this roof, it also creates some additional shade as they do this. Woo! The two of them are able to kind of. Actually, is there anything anyone wants to do while they're doing that? Because it's going to be a little while, because they have to be slow, otherwise they're going to fall 20 feet.
Cheat will do something that they can always do, which is intensely examine something.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like something about this ruin? Maybe some old languages or like a mural or something.
Ooh, yes. I think you managed to. You see, I'm going to make a place move and show the consequences for the actions of the past. And you see this bas relief that's almost like a warning. And it is a image of a mouse up on the top of a tower, and falling stars coming down from the sky, and then troops, like these sort of like vaguely humanoid figures with stars and lightning bolts for heads, wielding like lightning bolts in their hands, marching towards the tower. It's very eerie, and it's like right next to where all these provisions are. I will say, because you're examining something closely, like a part of that sheet, like as you're looking at this bas relief, you can like almost like sense the moisture, because Cheat is a magpie.
Mm-hmm.
Cheat, you can feel it in your feathers that there's moisture coming from the barrel.
Oh.
And if you touch the top of the barrel, you'll notice that it's cold and damp.
Okay. I think that Cheat would call over Parsley and say, "Oh, what is have you heard of anything like this? Some sort of like conflict? Do you think this is about the recent war or something older?"
Parsley will slide up next to Cheat and look over the bas relief. I am going to use something I can always do, which is ask what's the origin and purpose of that. But would I be asking Cheat? Is that how that works? Or
no, you can ask me, the guide.
all right.
Yeah, this is a very
the origin and
flexible
purpose
game.
of that?
The origin and purpose of that. So, from what I'm going to say in the narrative, is you're asking kind of that question like internally, right, to the world. And my response is going to be, this is a warning about the lightning dancers. Now, you've heard of the lightning dancers. They're small gods that often sometimes fall as shooting stars from the sky. And they're relatively benevolent. You know, they love to dance. They have a sacred pact with witches. They are spiritual, usually like peaceful beings. But you do know an ancient story about the last empress. There hasn't been an empire in Hythe in almost 1,000 years. And there is a legend about the last empress and the beautiful war with the lightning dancers. And you think that this was a warning to the watch mice and perhaps to those who would come after about the danger the lightning dancers are or can be.
I believe this is depicting some warnings from what they call the Beautiful War. And I'm going to take that move to also recall an historical event that is just like what is happening at the moment in this picture, just to weave that yarn and tell Cheat that story.
Silver Petal, are you listening to this story? How about you, Star?
No, I think I'm watching as they like canvas the space and just doing something I can always do, which is daydream and relax.
Right. How about you, Star?
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
think
you're
I'm-
keeping an eye on the exits. Oh no. Only one exit is left.
Up to you. Up to you.
No,
if I
go
can do
ahead. One
something.
more thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I kind of I'm definitely not helping with secure this thing because I've done a lot of work in my life and I don't need to do anymore. So I'm kind of wandering around, like looking around, like not getting in the way, but just kind of snooping. And I see the interaction with Cheat and Parsley outside, or not, it's not outside, I guess, that it's inside, right? The relief. It's like inside the thing.
Yes, the relief is inside.
Yeah, so I kind of wander over and put a paw and like kind of like trace the engraving as Parsley's talking about it. And I say something kind of quietly. Something I can always do is say an expression in my traditional language, which I think is very like deep in like the back of my throat, like purring and like those kind of little chirps that cats do, like very, very far back, and then some little meows that are like very, very far forward in my mouth. And I look at the other two and I repeat what I said, but in the language that we share, which is just as cats have 9 lives, so does conflict. It's always cycling and returning. the wars of the past repeated today and tomorrow and ever after.
Silver Petal, hearing these words from home,
Hmm.
how does it make you feel?
I think my daydream, Silver Petal's sort of sitting against a wall, on her like haunches, I guess. And every so often we'll just like close her eyes for a little bit longer and then open them and look at the canvas like coming down and then close them. And in hearing that, the daydream just shifts a little bit and she starts to envision, daydream about home a little bit more and smiles to herself and opens her eyes and watches the pittons, the canvas get put down.
Hatteras and Fuerte end up finishing up just in time as the sandstorm hits, and you hear it just sort of howling and screaming and the crunching of sand against rock. But inside this place, you're all safe. You see Fuerte pulls out a crowbar that was hidden underneath all of the rolling bedrolls and pries open the barrel, and is you can see like him like put his fingers like in the water, and he pulls out a ladle that was like in the water, and he's like, anyone for some cool fresh water? All right, pull out your travel cups. And he just starts pouring and it's like a thick, like I'm talking like a stick with like a barrel, like it's almost like a cup unto itself, and he just pours like nice, deep, cold, fresh groundwater that must have been from a well, like into everybody's cups. And he's like, all right, we've got enough provisions here to last us for a week. I don't think it's going to last that long. But who's down for some lunch?
Always. No finer fare than a meal we share.
Your beetle, is like, ooh, and like claps. Zoe, as like the little like ball of blue flame like pops out of the shrine, and is like, cheat, my friend, shall I reach in and pull out some treasures from the sea?
Of course. I would love to, let's share some dried fish with everyone.
Yeah, so kind of sort of pulling out from like one of the many like packages and storehouses and things on the back of your beetle is just nice, wonderfully like spiced, salted, dried fish. And Fuerte is like, thank you so much. We haven't had dried fish in quite some time. What a moon dance treat. He says as he's just like, you live in the desert. And the only fish you encounter are untrustworthy creatures. Seafood is a treat.
We picked these up from the rainforest, actually. These are fish that live in huge flowers shaped like
Really?
pictures.
Oh, oh, absolutely delicious. And like you have a meal. He pulls out. He's got some. There's some jerky and some dates. He pulls out like a jar of like hummus that he had that is in there, and uh shares some of his like fresh provisions with all of you. And like, between what Cheat has, with the dried fish, and you're able to have like a nice little communal lunch, uh where there's like, so does anybody have any questions about how we celebrate moon dance around here? I'm sure the sandstorm's going to be passing over in a few minutes. Does anyone need any instruments? It's just like popping the dry fish in his mouth.
I think I will be in need of an instrument. The one I carry, I don't really know how to play anymore. But I remember some quite colorful tambourines the last time I was here. Do you still have that
Mhm.
sort of thing, or has that changed as well?
No, 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 no. Some traditions do not change at all. My daughter, Nara, she has a lovely collection of instruments that I am really excited to show off. Hello, Raiders! Welcome, Raiders!
Ooh, hello,
We
Raiders.
are in the midst of playing a season's oath, a Wander Home journey, interlude 15. We are in the desert ruins of Ozuna, and our travelers are currently all with a local yeoman by the name of Fuerte, a desert mouse that is young at heart, but is quite old, and eating dried fish and hiding in some ruins to pass by a sandstorm on their way to a local settlement. Thank you all for watching. We have all kinds of amazing charity incentives, which are hopefully are in the Nightbot. I hope they are. And go ahead and please donate, because we're raising funds for an incredible cause. So you're all kind of sitting there eating this lunch. And he says, yes, my daughter Nara has a whole collection of incredibly colorful tambourines with all kinds of ribbons that she's hand woven herself, actually. She's very, very talented. She's who I'm going to be leading you all to. She's the one that I believe sent you the invitation. She's one of the matriarchs of our tribe. And, just we love travelers. The people of Ozuna, I guess you don't really know. It's strange to describe it. The road is our patron god, our divinity. They watched over our ancestors, gave them everything they needed to survive, and in turn, we repair the road. And when travelers come, travelers bring goods and travelers bring trade. So we're able to survive out here in this desert. We believe that the road provides, and there is no more embodiment of that than travelers such as yourselves.
Parsley is furiously scribbling all this down in his notes as Fuerte is there's notes as Fuerte is speaking. Fascinating, simply fascinating.
I will say, as he takes the move, show what things were like in more grim times. He looks up, and there's like a pinch of powder that he pulls out of his pack that he throws up into the air, which manifests into like a little like vision of like people on the road with spears and uh his folk like hiding. I would say there were times when Hythe was at war where many of us lost faith in the road. Roads were filled with soldiers and rebels, and trusting travelers became a liability. But not anymore. The road provides. Ever since the war has ended, our people have been thriving once again. You're making new friends. I am grateful that you are all here to celebrate Moon Dance with us. Is there anything anyone wants to say to Fuerte before the sandstorm passes and you continue on the road?
I have some.
Fuerte,
Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
Fuerte, can you teach us maybe some of your songs or your dances for the festival?
Absolutely. And it sort of catches you all off guard because in the moon dances and other parts of Hythe, moon dance is usually kind of a solemn affair, a little bit of a reverent affair. And he immediately starts teaching you all cheerful, bouncy jigs and belly dances. Which, some of you have been on the road for a very long time and have encountered some places where they celebrate moon dance in a cheerful way, but it is the exception. It is rare. And he just sort of enthusiastically teaches you these like I said, belly dances, the figure eight, how to move your hips without moving the top, jigs that involve lifting your feet and hopping around. It's all whirling dervish style dances. He has a little tiny drum that he has in his pack that he plays a little tiny handpan that he fills in the time to teach you. Hatteras, what's on your mind right now? You kind of looked a little when I mentioned that these dances were more exciting. Is there something Hatteras is feeling when he notices how wild the dances are here instead of solemn?
Yeah, I just, when it comes to the matters of the moon, it seems like there just needs to be something a little bit more reflective, a little bit more, transitionary amongst oneself, and so to be bouncing all around. I could be just a little bitter because I'm missing a tail, and so balancing while dancing like that's a little bit more difficult. But I just, it doesn't feel the rhythm in my bones isn't reacting in that way.
Right. Go ahead and take a token for speaking your true feelings on a subject. Parsley, what did you want to ask in addition to all of the, while he's teaching you all these dances and beats?
Well, once things have calmed down a little bit, Parsley is examining the water barrel, and water in the desert, such a precious commodity. Do all of your storm towers have wells attached to them, or how do you restock when the water runs low? I'm actually asking, what's the origin of this? I'm asking, where's this water coming from?
Oh, so road provides. That's not just a piece of folk wisdom. It is a piece of truth here in Ozuna. When the city was first built, there is a massive fresh water reservoir and caves deep under the desert. When the city was first built, before it fell to ruin, there were wells that were dug all the way to the reservoir. So when we say the road provides, we mean it literally. The road will, the spirit of the road will often lead our people to different wells that are located throughout what was once this great city. In turn, we revere the god of the road and we repair the road.
Aquifers beneath the city. I never would have imagined. Fascinating. Thank you for sharing this information with me.
The migration of our communities is based on the locations of all of the aquifers.
Oh. Truly wonderful.
Some of us have. My daughter Nara is advocating for us to create a permanent settlement where we are currently because the well we found was so massive. But I as much as I respect her, I don't feel that it's safe. We've always been on the move, and the road is in constant need of repair. My fear is that if we do not continue moving along the road and repairing the road, the god of the road will no longer, the aquifers may dry up. She tells me that that's not how science works, but it's something that has divided our generations. We're still debating about it. I hope I haven't brought the joy of this holiday down, but
No, certainly not. Certainly not.
And I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I love my daughter very much.
Oh, yes, of course. We always love these young folks with their ideas and their notions and their little trivialities. Of course, we love them, and that's why we say nothing when they have their little escapades, and then when everything goes wrong and the wells dry up and the road fades to dust, we're still there ready to pick up the pieces and share our wisdom once it's asked for. Yes, I'm very familiar.
Star, where have you been my whole life?
Star, while she's saying this, I'm gonna spend a token to remember something I assumed I had forgotten. And I have done these dances, I think, before. I think I've been here before, maybe not for the holiday, but like the dances, I think there's some similarities, you know, like culturally with other stuff. And so I'm doing like a little jig. So my feet are like, you know, kicking up little things of dust. So the whole time I'm saying that, I'm doing this like very like peppy jig. And I think I just wink at the mouse.
Yeah, he's got, you all notice that like after that statement, like Huerta has stars in his eyes. He's just like, oh. So, and with that, sandstorm passes over. The quest to open the locket resumes. It's much quicker to get the canvas down than it is to put it up. And it all gets, you know, kind of put away. And then once again, you all are on the road. It's later in the afternoon. Sunset is coming soon. And as the sun is kind of dipping down in the sky is turning a brilliant orange above you. And he is gonna navigate you all the rest of the way on foot. As you're making your way through the road. And with that, we're gonna take our break. We're gonna be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Please go get some water, get a snack. Raiders, I hope you stay. The second half is going to be glorious. And we'll see you soon back on the road. Hello, everyone. We have returned for the second half of A Season's Oath, a Wander Home Journey. Interlude 15, Ozuna. So Fuerte, the desert mouse, yeoman, has been kind of leading you down a what turned out to be quite treacherous journey to the settlements that he stayed at, that Star has gotten an invitation to celebrate moon dance in. You're on the road, the sun is setting, and right as you know, there's just a strip of orange and red on the horizon. The stars are starting to come in. The moon hasn't risen yet. You arrive in a massive community that has essentially been carved out of the ruins of the city on either side of this ancient imperial road. You see people have taken up residence in ruined towers and buildings on either side. You see big tents of canvas have kind of been popped up in between the ruined buildings. You see tents of canvas stretched over holes in the roofs of towers, similar to what Hatteras and Fuerte just did to weather the sandstorm. You see wagons, with colorful canvas coverings. You see just fire pits, little booths where people are grilling all a matter of like meats and vegetables. You see people like mills around. People are like pounding like flour and grilling like flatbreads. You see the wagons of several peddlers, such as yourself, Cheat, have kind of set up here. You can see like they're, beetles, big, massive beetles are like pulling all of these carts. You see people are riding. You see more people on those like kite flyers kind of around, going from like, place to place. You see some people have what look to be like sand sail boats. You see a bunch of desert crickets that are like big crickets, but their coloring matches the color of the sand and the stone, that are all kind of being fed fresh water. You see a massive like fresh water like aquifer in the settlement that people are like, getting, cold, clean water from. It's circular stone. People are carrying buckets of water. And Fuerte ends up taking you off the main road down like a side, like stone path leading to what is a refurbished stone building. That's roof was like caved in, but it now is covered with like a beautiful like pieces of like colorful like blues, orange, red, yellow canvas that's kind of like been like domed over it. You can see warm light emanating from the windows, which don't have any glass in them, but still has the remnants of like stone framing, like from another time. You can see kind of hanging, like kind of bolted to the side of the wall, beautiful green plants, like herbs, vegetables in these sort of like raised gardens that aren't on the ground where the sand is. And you can see that there's fresh soil inside of these sort of hanging gardens. And you can see little bits of water kind of dripping from the bottom into the sand. Not much, not wasteful, but when you're keeping like wet earth, in there, it just kind of, it'll kind of drip a little bit. And there's no like wooden door. There's like an archway. Like whatever wood was here is probably like blasted and rotted away. But you can see that a tent flap, like a tent canvas door, has been pitched into the front, and you could see like the canvas has been painted in all of these like beautiful, like colorful astrological patterns. So there's like, it almost looks like stars and moons and planets and things that someone took the time to just sort of hand paint on the canvas itself. And there's a removable sign, wooden sign, above the door that says Traveler's Hostel. And the tent flaps open, and you see another desert mouse, a young woman. She is dressed in an incredibly like comfortable cotton long tunic that she has belted. She has like a really simple, practical, we would call it a hijab, you know, like it's like just over her head, but it's and like kind of over the shoulder, but she's got like little slits in it, like where her ears are kind of popping out.
That's too cute.
Yeah. And it's not like cut, like you can see like it's been sewn with care, you know, like, and it's really beautiful, like stitching in the slits in her hijab, and she's got the ears pointed out, and then she has all this like kind of like decorative jewelry of like different pieces of like shell and amber and polished stones, and the belt that she's wearing is like hand woven and is like turquoise and yellow, and is kind of like really long and like frayed at the end, and she's like kind of tight, you know, kind of tightly like on her hip, and then she has all a matter of like little like bags and pouches and things hanging off of this thick like woven belt, and unlike Fuerte, who's wearing like these kind of really sturdy like thick canvas boots that are like reinforced with leather, she's wearing like little comfy sandals on her Mount Feetsies. And you can tell that they're comfy because it's like here's a flat thing of leather and here's a thick layer of cotton that's like right underneath, and her feet just kind of melt into them with like these little thin leather straps. And she like kind of steps out, and when she opens the flap, you guys are hit with just a waft of saffron, curry, salt, and just hits you as whatever she's cooking in this building is just like hitting you. Yeah. And he says, Nara, oh father, you made it. And she like goes over and gives him a huge hug. I was so worried about the sandstone. And he's like, I have been a yeoman in this community since the time and she says at the same time with him, you could walk. Yes, I know. It doesn't stop me from worrying about you when you're out ranging, looking for our honored guest, and you get caught in a sandstorm. I told you one was coming. What? Why didn't you let Diego go instead? Oh, it was my turn. Diego needs to enjoy Moon Dance. Is the boy here? Diego is not a boy. You're all children to me. Come on. Our guests have arrived. I want to feed them some food. Oh, where are my manners? Hello, I'm Nara. I'm the moving hostel hostess. Welcome, travelers. Come on in. And she kind of waves you all in. How Hatteras, I want to ask you a question. What do you see in this room that immediately disarms you and assuages your fears? Like, what is it about this hostel that Nara has created that makes you feel safe? I want to kind of put it back in your hands.
The number of blankets. So it's going to be very easy to make an absolutely wonderful nest in this whole place. And I think that they're going to be made of a nice light kind of material, so it's going to be very easy to cloak around it. And we may or may not end up with one in my bag, but that's not my,
Right, it's not your
I'm not a
intention.
thief. I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Would you say there's like a whole wall of blankets?
I love it. Yeah, just like honestly, probably like a quilt, made very similar to like what we would know as a t-shirt quilt, but of this kind of
like all
so, like bits of
scavenged.
fabrics and pieces that have been, something that you're supposed to like. Us maybe even as travelers are not expected to leave something behind, but we may or may not, if we do accidentally leave something behind, it might end up here, or if we want to add something and we question about it, we ended up here. And I think actually in a circumstance like this, with that being again, not an expectation, but something that Hatteras may see, he does keep a blanket with him at all times. That is a reminder of his parents that he lost a long time ago, when he was a very small squirrel and still had a tail. And I think he is very going to not in front of anyone. No one gets to see this.
Gotcha.
This is a very private moment for Hatteras. But he is going to just end up like tearing off, I think, a little bit of that blanket. So it's still a nice like shape, very and we'll accidentally leave this behind.
Right.
For the tradition of it all. But
yeah, I think near these blankets there is a wall with a massive loom and sewing supplies. And I think, Hatteras, you're able to inconspicuously drop that scrap of fabric in her scrap fabric bin. She's got like a hand woven basket that she's traded for. And Cheat, you can see all she had to have traded for and bartered for so many things in here. What is it that you see that kind of also gives you comfort that she could not possibly have in the middle of the desert that she has bartered for with other peddlers such as yourself?
There is a specific type of table that they make in a very far away land. It's like this two-tiered thing that's made for brewing tea. So there are slats in the upper tier of this table that allow the flush tea water to trickle down into the second tier of the table. And so this is I don't think that Cheat has seen this anywhere besides this very far away country.
Okay. Star and Silver Petal, is there something here from home? Actually, let me rephrase that. What here from home is in this place that she must have bartered for? Or been gifted?
I think I've been thinking about this because on the break, for people watching, some of the players were like, my character is freaked out by this place. And so kind of
To clarify, character totally chilling. Tay nervous.
To clarify, Irby, totally chilling. Hatteras, no.
Yeah. So I was thinking about like, oh yeah, Star like was probably really uncomfortable the last place we were, and I was thinking of like why, because I feel like Star feels very at home here, and so I was kind of like puzzling in my head like why that would be, and I think Sunkill Mountain, which is where I'm from, is also like a pretty harsh environment because it is this mountain. I think the ground is very hard. It's not the same climate necessarily as here, but there are some similar things of like we had to like scrape out an existence on this mountain. And so I think maybe I'm trying to think of what would be here that would be the same. Maybe some like climbing gear stashed away someplace.
Oh yeah,
Like off to the
did
side.
pull out the pigeons, right? And
Yeah, yeah. So I think maybe I think Star is at home when she can clearly see the like trials and travails of life. Like when she can see like this place is like kind of rough to live in, but people are making it. I think Star is least at home when everything's like too comfy and like it's like, okay, what's being hidden here?
Yeah.
But I think she likes comfort, but I think is like a little unsettled by it. So I think seeing these signs of people have to work really hard to scrape out a life here, and seeing some familiar like equipment that would be at Sunkill Mountain.
Is there anything special about this mountain equipment, Silver Petal, that you notice that maybe Star doesn't? That's hung on the wall.
I'm gonna say no because I had another idea for what I
Yes.
noticed,
Yes, please go ahead.
which I think we're like met with all of these spices and smells as we enter of the food that's cooking. And so I think Silver Petal is sort of like wandering around the kitchen and looking at things and sees a specific kind of herb that only really grows in and near the mountain, which is very far away from here. And so must have been like traded and traded and traded to get all the way here. And so I think that's the thing that reminds her of home, is that very, very specific herb. And knowing that like Nara has all of these different spices, things she's never even heard of. So it's like very evident to her that she cares a lot about the food and taking care of people. And making sure that everyone in some way can feel welcome no matter where they're coming from.
Can I ask a question, Tay, about what you just said?
Sure.
What do you think the flavor profile of this herb is?
Ooh. In my head, it was very like earthy, very woodsy. Maybe like this. It's like pine or something similar.
Ooh, yeah, or like rosemary kind of has
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Something along those lines, I would say.
I love that.
Speaking of food, parsley. What thing, we've talked about Cheat seeing things that must have been traded. We've seen the blankets that have kind of disarmed and made Hatteras feel more comfortable. We've seen Silver Petal and Star see two different things that remind them of home. I want to zero in on the food, since Parsley's whole thing is like food history. What is special about this soup/gumbo that is being cooked in the pot?
Absolutely.
That Parsley knows, that immediately like kind of intrigues him. What's special about it?
Well, as soon as we set foot in Ozuna, this was like going to Disneyland for Parsley, quite frankly. He's got his small god of memory, Omem, out. Omem is capturing all the things that they can be seen, can be heard. Parsley's got their miraculous stone that captures and prints still images, but is currently hovering over the stew. And even though the stew is very fresh and very fragrant, there's a couple things that they notice about this stew. One is that most of the inclusions in the stew are ingredients that can be dried and preserved for a very long time. The other thing is that it is heavily, heavily spiced. And Parsley knows that heavily spiced food is used generally when you're not so sure whether your meats or your vegetables have gone bad, and so this covers up the bad taste just in case.
I'm so glad that you're all here. As I said, my name is Nara, and you all are?
I put out my
Cheat.
paw. Oh yeah, go ahead,
Cheat?
cheat.
Cheat? Pleasure.
And I think you already know me as I was invited here, but it's Star.
I'm so glad that you're here. And your companions? She's just like looking around at the rest of you.
Silver Petal.
Oh,
My distant cousin I brought
such a
along.
lovely name. And you, handsome? Looking up at Hatteras.
It's a pleasure. You can call me Hattie. And he'll, give a little twirl of the hand, a little kiss on the paw, a little showmanship. Yeah. We're here to, dance.
Yes. And I see you taking an interest in my gumbo. Or curry.
Yes,
I don't know. It goes by so many different names throughout Heist. Every traveler has a different name for it. What would you
whatever it is, it smells delicious.
Yes.
I'm Parsley. Your ware is so lovely. May I have your permission to create an image of it?
Absolutely. Like, do you have a small god that captures paintings?
Parsley will hold up their, I don't know if it's a god, it says it's a miraculous stone.
Oh, okay. She doesn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's true. Holds it up and rolls out a roll of parchment, places the stone on top, and populating the paper almost like, have you seen those sand drawings where you put glue down, you pour the sand on, you pour it off? It looks like that. Like tiny fragments of dust just fill the image until it's a mosaic image of Nada in her festival garb.
Wow.
And Parsley will gift it to them. Will gift it to her.
Thank you. Take a token for doing something kind and not expecting anything in return, and also a token for sharing a tiny moment of beauty. And she's like, this is lovely. I'm definitely gonna have to frame this up in the hostel somewhere. Let me give you a little tiny tour. This is the common room, and the common room is where you guys see like the blankets. There's a fireplace. There's the tea making table. There's lots of places to like sit and be comfortable, like big like ottoman cushions for people to sit on. There's not necessarily like chairs. And then nearby is like an open air kitchen with a table, and there's stools there, but the stools are for like, eating breakfast essentially in the kitchen. And then she leads you into the back downstairs. And then all of a sudden, as you head downstairs, the temperature drops like 10 degrees as you can literally feel you're like leaving the warmth of the desert and getting down into like the caverns underneath the sands. And there are all of these lovely, warm, kind of lantern lit rooms that are just filled with like tapestries on the walls and cushions. And they're just these little cozy caves that you can kind of sit and sleep in. But then you notice that each one has like a skylight that goes straight to the surface, you know. And there's these like this beautiful thick like glass like caps that you can see that like they're removable. So you're pretty sure that like during the day, like sunlight comes in from the surface and like fills the room. But for now, they're all kind of lit with these like really cozy, comfy, like oil lamps. And there's plenty of them. There's like big ones, there's small ones. And there's like all kinds of like comfy like bedrolls and futons and pillows. There's basins in like every single one filled with fresh water and clean washcloths. There are like in some of the bigger ones, there's like lower tables with like cushions around them. So if you wanted to have your own little personal, you know, meal with friends in the room. And she shows you all around to the different rooms. And she's like, you can pick whatever you like. If you would like a private room, you're more than welcome to it. If you would like to stay all together, you're also welcome to do that. I highly recommend one of the bigger rooms for that. You are our traveler guests for this festival.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. You're welcome. Come. Let's have a little bit of a snack. Festivities won't be formally starting until sundown. And she leads you all like back up the stairs, and it's like not, you know, back up the stairs up to the upper level.
Well, I'm very impressed by their hospitality here. Star kind of like whispers to the others and says, lunch and now a snack? I'm being spoiled, and that's not even to mention, I imagine there'll be some kind of food at the festivities. Just looks very pleased.
I look forward to it.
When you get back up the stairs, you are surprised as an incredibly tall, I'm talking like 6'8", broad-shouldered, beefy, shirtless, just wearing like trousers, and maybe like a keffiyeh around his neck, not up, but like just kind of loosely around his neck. Gila Monster is there and is like, oh, hello everyone. I didn't mean to like frighten anybody. You didn't frighten anyone. These are our guests. Everyone, this is Diego, the one that my father, and you notice that like Fuerte is over there like stirring the pot of the stew. My father insisted not to help you all. Hello, everyone. I hope you managed the sandstorm well.
Yes, we managed just fine.
Yeah, we handled it okay.
I'm so sorry. Above table, are we human-sized animals?
Yes.
Oh.
We're like this tall, and then this Gila Monster 6'8".
We're all animals, and this thing is 6'8".
I'm so sorry. I apologize. No, we are human-sized animals.
No, you're fine. I misunderstood. I was scared. I was like, that's a giant, guys. I feel like we're not reacting to the fact that there's a giant in the room with us. How does he fit in this space?
No, 6'8" is still big, whether we are human-sized animals or I am an animal-sized animal. I am still going.
But also, think about being 4 inches, like you're a squirrel.
Yeah.
Think about being
that was absolutely terrifying.
I guess
when I was able to climb up
if we were all animal sized, he would actually be more like a foot and a half.
Yeah,
I mean, still huge. Still very
huge.
scary.
Still huge. Different though. Different scales. I'm so
very
sorry.
different scales.
Please, let's
all
continue.
Good.
I
that is
apologize.
the best Wonder Home question asked ever.
I was gonna joke because Okami, you like took a second to say what type of animal it was, so I was gonna joke like human man.
Like, y'all were not there when a slight interlude for those of you who love Wanderhome. I have ran a journey before where they encountered the footprint of a giant, and the
Whoa.
way that our travelers processed it when they spent a token to figure out what exactly it was, I proceeded to say, well, they found giant bones. That's what it was. And I said, well, the bones look like that of a massive monkey folk, but the musculature is different, and they don't, and you're pretty sure they didn't have fur. So
That's so funny.
I love it.
yeah, so anytime anything vaguely humanoid is brought up in any of my Wanderhome games, they're usually referred to as like
Giants.
the furless monkey folk or the furless gorilla folk. You know, it's not normal. Or it's some kind of small god. What sort of weird alien, you know, furless thing that looks like a person but is not a person? Oh, it must be some kind of deity. That's not normal. Yes, no, Diego is massive, right?
Yes.
You know, and also provocatively shirtless, but then again, there are places in Hythe where people barely wear clothes, so it's not.
I think I go up and like kind of, I don't exactly put my paw on Diego's abs, but like kind of like how old women sometimes will just kind of touch you, and it's like, okay, you're an old woman, I guess this is fine.
Oh.
So
He gets up and he's like, he's going to do something he can always do, which is ask the question, what's your real goal here?
I look up at him and I say, well, my cape got a bit dusty, and I was thinking perhaps I could use these as a washboard and kind of like run my hand up and down his abs.
Old women.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
easier when I flex them, and then he like does this, and all of a sudden, like, like.
I pull my hand away, startled, and I say, oh my.
Mr. Flexer.
Nara is just like, oh, Diego, stop flirting. I know it's Moon Dance, but Star is an honored guest.
Oh, yes, I'm just an old woman. Don't pay any mind to me. And I go and like sit down waiting to be served some kind of snack.
I will say in the last couple minutes, you were all treated to a bowl of this incredibly thick, delicious, heavily spiced stew with like chunks of meat and fresh vegetables and like a warm buttered sweetbread that she like literally pulls out of the oven. And you know, eventually Diego is, you know, puts on a shirt because he puts on like a little like, you know, thin cotton tunic because it's getting ready to get cold, and he is a Gila monster, so he's got to stay warm, and he's kind of sitting near the fireplace. And you have this meal. You can dip the bread in the stew, and it is all just so delicious. Silver Petal, this meal is so delicious that you're just launched into an intense daydream of just you're on a boat in an ocean of this stew with just a pile of the sweetbread, and you're just grabbing the sweetbread and dipping it into the water and eating it. And for some reason, it doesn't drip anywhere. It doesn't get on your fur. You're just able to just like deliciously like eat. And like to the rest of you, like as Silver Petal is eating, Silver Petal's eyes are closed and is somehow eating this meal perfectly, and she's not there. Like she's not there. She's somewhere else.
If I may, I think
Please.
the boat is made of the bread, and I just keep pulling pieces of it, but it never stops being a full boat.
Yes,
It's
this
just
is the
always like the bread just sort of replenishes itself as I like pull pieces of the bread off the side and then dip it in the stew and eat it.
Yeah. I will say this. Even though Silver Petal isn't there, you all can sense that Silver Petal is very happy. It's like this sort of like eerie, magical moment. Like you all can't see the daydream, but you know that that's where she is.
She's like almost shimmering.
Mm-hmm.
Like optical illusion. Like if you look directly at her, she just looks normal and just like in her own world. But if you look away, it's like fuzzy on the edges.
Oh. Huh. Nara says. It appears that your friend is an Onirmancer.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Oh. Someone who has the ability to... Someone that's blessed with dream magic. They exist both in the world of dreams and in our world at the same time. It's an interesting blessing.
Do you have a lot of dream magicians here?
Some of us, I only know because I have a connection to the small gods. And one of the ways that the small gods speak to us is through dreams.
I have a small god myself, and they kind of just berate me sometimes.
Oh, well, you know, there are as many small gods on Hythe as there are stars in the sky. And they all have their own way of speaking. I just happen to be one of the people that is able to help people listen to small gods who choose not to speak our language. You are blessed. Yours speaks your language, or at the very least, chooses to.
What an honor to be berated by a small and forgotten god.
As opposed to confused, or baffled, or in the case of Damon's, misguided and tricked. Berated, as you see this like flame just come up behind you. I don't berate you. I just tell you the truth. It is not my fault that the truth is upsetting on the holiday of Moon Dance. How could you cheat?
Oh, I love it. So how would I ever remember to put out signs or, put on the right shoes if not for you?
Oh, well, I mean, of course. I mean, you won't listen to me about changing your name, which has to be the most inappropriate name for a peddler in all of Hythe's existence. But that's fine. You loved your parents. You like your name. You think it's funny.
It's Cheat the Peddler. That's great. That's a new story.
Nara's like, now that So brings it up, why did you become a peddler with that? Is it, you don't strike me as a dishonest person. Is it just the humor?
I mean, I'm not. I'm hilarious, unfortunately. And this is just punchline and setup all in one.
Please take a token for speaking your true feelings on a subject because it's just so good. A rating. Is everyone done eating its moon dance? We should be out dancing. So you all head out, and the night is fantastic. There are these beautiful, massive bonfires throughout the community that are all blazing with blue fire. There is all these booths, like I said, that are like lit up by different lanterns that have kebabs on the grill, flatbreads, sweetbreads. There is all of these like candied dates that are being handed out and marzipan that are being given to people for the holiday. There are multiple drum circles where people are playing, kind of sitting down and playing percussive instruments. Everyone's wearing, their white robes. I will say Nara will give you all like a pair of white robes that you can put over your travel clothes. And the robes here, as opposed to being like linen or wool like you've encountered in other parts of Hythe, they are all hand woven cotton, like light and airy and comfortable. And everyone is just having a good time. People are kind of some people are wearing like sashes like with coins like sewn into them. Some people are wearing sashes with bells sewn into them as they're able to continue to make music while they are dancing. There are several dances that are meant to be done with groups, like in a circle around the fire, that people are doing. There's a beautiful, in like the center of it all, in front of the cistern at moonrise, there's this beautiful like theatrical ceremony of like a pageant where this one woman, you're assuming one of the matriarchs that Nara briefly mentioned during dinner. She's on a council of matriarchs that rule over the tribe in a leadership role, in this like long white gown with a long white veil and a long white train that is all like decorated and embroidered with polished moonstones, that is being led down this aisle and married to this young gentleman that's wearing a costume, like who's also wearing like long white robes, but like he's wearing like a mask, like a half mask made of polished gold that looks like the rising sun. Who is another Gila monster. And they're like being married by this what was the other by this camel. But this like camel, she's wearing like deep, like she's like kind of the only person not wearing white, but her robes are like a deep viridian green that matches the green of the forest that you all just visited. And the mask she's wearing is one of the few wooden objects you've seen other than carts since you got here. And it's a beautiful polished wood mask that is has like all of these like pink and green and light green, like nature colors, like woven into these like branch like like a branch like halo, right? Sort of a and there's something like very like androgynous about the way she's dressed. Like you can see that like it's a feminine frame, right? But like this camel there's a masculine cut to the outer robe, right? And the way it drapes, it's like high waisted, and you see this glorious, like, marriage ceremony being conducted by this non binary embodiment of nature, um, that is bringing together a feminine moon and a masculine sun in this beautiful ceremony under the stars. Is there anything anyone wants to do or say while you're all kind of gathered with your hosts witnessing this ceremonial marriage of the moon reach its climax?
Something I've been thinking about ever since we got to the settlement is what Fuerte said: the road provides, the road provides, and all this talk about the small and forgotten gods. I'd like to spend a token to listen to the shared wisdom of the small and forgotten gods and ask the table what they tell me.
All right, okay. Cheat. What would you say the small and forgotten gods whisper to Parsley in this moment?
I think one of the gods of the desert tells you that journeys may not be easy, but it's always worthwhile to make them.
Hatteras, what do the small and forgotten gods share with Parsley in this moment as Parsley listens?
They tell you that whatever road you take, whether it is well tended, well maintained, whether it is the road most taken or the one less traveled, it is still your road. It is yours to walk. And as long as you choose to move along it, you're making the right decision.
Silver Petal, same question.
I think the god of connection tells you that while information is important, relationships are the thing that makes that information worth sharing.
Star, what wisdom do the small and forgotten gods share with Parsley in this moment as they
One of
listen?
one of the small forgotten gods you have listed here are shades. Can I ask
Mm-hmm.
what is that, like a shadowy kind of thing, or is that something else?
It's a ghost
A
from the ancient
ghost.
past.
Okay. I think there's a whisper very close in Parsley's ear, and this like cold kind of chill as this whisper in your ear says, even the harshest places can be survived, but beware how they may change you.
All of this, these words, as you are focusing in this sacred place, in this sacred ceremony, come to you. The final being from a presence beyond the living. Cold shiver goes up your spine, even in this moment of mindfulness. And the ceremony ends up concluding. The dances continue. The drum circles continue. All throughout the entirety of the night, the people of Ozuna indulge in the tradition of staying up until dawn. You all do not have to if you do not want to. But it is the city, or at least the settlement, is quite vibrant until the crack of dawn. The only people sleeping are those who wish to be up in the morning to cook breakfast for those who are about to go to sleep. I want to take these final moments to offer each one of you and ask, what do you all do before you settle down for the night or close your eyes shortly after sunrise? You can share moments with one another if you wish, or you can have a moment alone. But in the end, everyone is going to have a moment before we, as they say in the Wander Home book, bed down for the night.
I think, Hatteras, have you still been working on the locket this whole time? Off and on?
Off and on, yeah, probably.
Okay. I think if I've noticed that, I am going to pull Hatteras aside and sort of in like just like a more quiet corner and hold out my hands. Can I see?
Kind of look down at it and look at you. I'm like, yeah, dude, I mean, you were the one who found it and said I could take it, so you're not going to take it back. Cause that just,
No.
Yeah.
I'll give it back to you, I promise. So, because despite being in her sort of dream while she was eating the soup, the stew, she could still hear like bits of and pieces of the conversation. And so I'm going to spend a token to provide a solution for an aspect of a material or immediate problem. And while I'm holding the locket, start daydreaming about it being a locket that I can open. And that sort of shimmering, like in the periphery, happens. And the locket doesn't look like it physically changes, but there is a soft click and doesn't pop all the way open, but just like almost like half clamshell, like just like pops up. And she'll open her eyes and pull it from the chain out of her hand and hold it out to Hatteras. There you go.
Oh, nifty.
And he'll take it and just kind of poop it on open. Not poop it, but, sound effects.
When you open it, a little bit of sand pours out, and there's a little miniature as you're looking at it. And it is of a family of otters,
Oh.
painted in a relatively modern style. Then you notice that, a lot of the decorations on the locket are ocean themed. Seashells, waves. Wasn't really something you had picked up on before as you were trying to kind of focus on, like, how do I get this open? And it makes sense, and you just get a sense that while this isn't some ancient relic, it's incredibly important to someone that's on this road. You kind of feel this pull of the road, and that perhaps, Silver Petal, you were meant to find this. Hatteras, this was meant to be in your hands. Perhaps one day you will find someone connected to this, and it will mean a lot to them. Hatteras, is there anything that you would like to do before bedding down for the night?
I think after the excitement, as you will, of getting the locket open, Hatteras will honestly, knows and has that pull towards going, but the initial excitement of having this piece of jewelry has kind of started to fade, and will pocket it. And I think he steps out, and even knowing, and it just is going to take a moment essentially to appreciate the stars, appreciate the vastness, appreciate the journey that he has been on, but is looking more so forward to what is to come. Continuing to not want to think about his past. He doesn't honestly want to think about what could have happened to this family of otters either, that would have made them lose something that has a level of sentimental value. And maybe we'll ask Cheat about it in the morning, if maybe he's seen anything similar, since he's got all of his fishy things. And, maybe if we approach him about it, we can apologize for the whole noodle situation. It's been making this trip really awkward. I'm really...
Yeah. You see all these beautiful constellations in the sky, and having sort of solved this mystery, when you close your eyes to get some sleep, the first time in a while that you've had a nice, relaxing rest.
Oh boy, I love not having a nightmare, no horrors. It's great.
Nope. Just a fantastic sleep. You dream of you and Silver Petal on a boat made of bread, on an ocean of soup, and you're both just picking the bread off of the boat, dipping it in, and enjoying it. You're not sure if it was because you were exposed to Silver Petal's magic, but who knows? Speaking of Cheat, how would you like to spend the rest of your time in this place before bedding down for the night? Or the
So
morning?
I think, yeah, she ends up giving away like all of their dried fish, I think, to all the revelers as like little snacks. They kind of shred each piece and turn them into jerky, and then for
Mhm.
everyone who like wants some, uh, then they get some.
You get
But maybe around
you get so many tokens, just letting you know. You get so many tokens, pieces of turquoise, bolts of cotton fabric, uh, coins, but like the kind of coins that you would sew. Like people take the coins off their coin sashes and give them to you. Like you get all of the bottles of perfume, made from flowers that only grow in the desert. Um, you know, you weren't expecting it, but you end up getting a lot of gifts of gratitude for sharing such a rare and special treat. Please continue. I just had to let you know that giving away all your dried fish in the middle of a desert community was going to be reciprocated.
Yeah, of course, it's the holiday. You got to do that. And he also, maybe around like 2 or 3 in the morning,
Mhm.
she decides to work a little magic, a little water magic. I'm going to spend a token to prepare a big pot of tea, and I invite anyone in the vicinity to drink of it. And if they do, they will feel healed from all aches, pains, headaches, and nausea. So whoever wants to stay up the night, it's like a little pep me up, pick me up.
Uh, Nara and Fuerte and Diego, because they're locals, of course, are going to stay up all night, are incredibly grateful. Anyone in the group who drinks this before bedding down, it's just a wonderful, amazing experience as all of your aches and pains just sort of melt and wash away, and either leading you to a wonderful, restful sleep or helping you get through the rest of the night. Hold on one second, folks. I will be right back.
Okay, now we can make up whatever we want.
All
And
right,
it
the story
has to
guide
be
has
real.
fled.
Oh, okay, wait.
Oh,
All right, I'm back. Sorry, if I didn't answer the parent, they would have just kept yelling. So
That's okay. We were just making mischief for just a second.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah.
Having parents.
So everybody gets anybody who wants tea gets tea, right? It's all good. Parsley. Lots of opportunities here. There's tea at 2 or 3 in the morning. There's all night celebrating going on. What would you like to do before bedding down for the night?
First thing Parsley's going to do is go and essentially sample every single one of the treats in the stalls that are available.
Yes.
Write everything down. Going full Instagram food blog on with the miraculous stone.
Yes, and
But
everyone is happy to share like all of the different treats.
But
like I said, marzipan, candy dates, hummus, flatbreads, different kinds of curries, kebabs, like just it's a cavalcade of delicious foods that are incredibly unique to this place. The only thing you like don't see is there isn't really any seafood here. But you do see the excitement of Cheap passing out the dried fish and people losing their minds over it.
Normally given such a rich research opportunity, they would be up all night recording, writing, taking pictures. But they cut it short a little bit. Maybe only for hour and a half, and just take time that night to watch the stars and dance with the revelers. And around the time that Cheat is serving tea, they'll wander into that same establishment and use a little magic of their own and spend a token to breathe into the smoke of the fire that's heating the teapot. And figures and shapes will emerge from the smoke, illusions of far-off places that Parsley has traveled to. And they dance around Parsley as well as the other people there. They respond to the stories that are told as Parsley weaves yarn after yarn as for the people enjoying the tea. And then, having enjoyed the tea, we'll give Cheat a pat on the shoulder and bed down for the night.
Star, one who was invited here, how do you spend the rest of your moon dance with the people of Ozuna and with your friends for the rest of the night? What are your final moments before laying down to rest?
Star at the beginning of the evening when the ceremony takes place is very like active and involved, does some dancing. But as a cat is crepuscular, which means I'm most active at dawn and dusk. So I take a little nap in the middle of the night. And then around the time that she brings out the tea, Star, I think it like has fallen asleep old woman like in just like the middle of everything. So like is kind of comforted by the noises and the sounds, everything, just kind of curls up and falls asleep. Wakes up, stretches, goes to get some tea, which does wonders. Star just always has some aches and pains, so is very happy to have the tea. And I think invigorated by that and by the time of day, it's getting closer to dawn, goes out and is dancing. I'm dancing my heart out. I'm dancing with people. I'm dancing like a much younger cat. And at one point I look up at the sky and my pupils are so huge because it's so dark. And so you can't really see any of the amber of my eye. It's just these deep pools where the starlight is reflected from my eyes as I'm looking up at the sky. And it reminds me of a moon dance years and years and years ago when I was much younger in my village of Skydance village where I'm from, which no longer exists. And this moon dance back then was the occasion was much more somber. We celebrate it very differently in Skydance Village. A lot of pomp and circumstance and not so much dancing. But this one night, so many years ago, when my fiance was still alive, we celebrated it together. And on that occasion, I remember the moon and stars descending from the sky and joining us for this moon dance in not only a sort of allegorical way, but a literal way. Stars coming down, which was the name of the village, was Skydance Village, because it's so high up in the mountain. This was known to happen on occasion. And this very somber, magical evening that I remember as I'm looking up at the skies. And I think my eyes start to well with tears as I remember how much happier I was then, even though the occasion was so much more somber. And I finished the dance. I think I was like kind of spinning in a circle. I kind of slowed down. And I go back to cheat at the tea. And I kind of pat, like to try to get your attention. And I say, Cheat, can I tell you a story about my home?
Of course.
You get a token for saying yes. And yeah, I just relay, I won't restate it again, but I just relay the story to Cheat of that evening. And I say, there were so few there to witness that night. And there are so few who are still alive from that night. And I just wanted someone else to know about it and remember it.
As maybe like a token of comfort, Cheat gives Star the last piece of dried fish that they brought.
I chew on it very cat-like, where it's like kind of in the corner back of my mouth, and I'm just kind of gnawing at it. And I say, thank you so much. That stew earlier was good, but it was very hot and spicy. And I kind of give a little cough.
And I think in the moment concludes with the hostel windows starting to fill with sunlight. The two of you, the last one standing, Nara yawning, but heading into the kitchen to start cooking a breakfast, a comfort food breakfast, just lots of breads and a heavy bacon. She's being very careful, though, as to not wake anyone up. And your moon dance ends in a sunrise-filled room surrounded by colorful blankets to the smell of breakfast, the first day of Silt being cooked for the two of you. And with that, you've concluded our journey. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to those who have donated. Thank you to all of my wonderful players. Thank you to Nerds with Dice for allowing me to come and continue to expand the Seasons of Story. I am Okami. I have been your guide. You can find me over at House of Dreams over on both Blue Sky and Instagram. We are going to be dark for August, but we will be returning with another four-episode chapter with Season South in September. And as for me, I am at Keiji Okami over on Blue Sky and Instagram, and I'm all over the place running stories and spreading the word, and you can find me there. Everybody, please tell us, my amazing players, tell me who you are, where we can find you, and plug one thing that you have coming up for us. I'm going to go ahead and pop it over to Bear.
Hello, everyone. I am the Soup Bear, or just Soup, or just Bear. Pronouns are they, he, and I've been playing Parsley, your ermine historian, food-motivated they, them. You can find me over on Blue Sky as thesoupbear.biscuit.social. You can also find me under Soup Dumpling Media. I am one of the co-founders, the co-chefs, as we like to say. And you can find us on Blue Sky under Soup Dumpling Media, as well as on YouTube, Soup Dumpling Media. We have been releasing episodes of our D&D 5e legacy audio drama, Echoes of the Forgotten, in which I play Bertie Shore Oliveira, who is a barbarian, the best adventurer the guild's ever seen. Doesn't matter that she's 8 years old. That's a minor detail that we tend to ignore. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Popcorn over to Keith.
Hi, I'm Keith Hive, and I've been playing your favorite magpie peddler, Cheat. You can find me across the internet at Keith Asada. You can find some of the games that I've written over at keithasada.itch.io, and you can come watch me play a Twilight Doctor in a Star Wars universe over on Dexter 19 next Sunday.
Me, sorry. I was like, who? What? Hello, I'm Tay.
Hey, yeah.
I'm Tay. I have been Tay and will continue to be. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on any of the socials that I'm on at Taycrow. I'm also on Twitch, twitch.tv/it's Taycrow, Taycro is how you spell that. And I have a TTRPG interview podcast called Tay TRPG, where I talk to some of my favorite actual play creators about what they're doing and what they're making. And it is truly just a scam to get people I admire to sit down and talk to me for an hour, sometimes two. It's working out great. I just released 2 episodes this month, so feel free to go check that out with Cy Rutherford of Afterlight and other things, and Hannah Minshew from Bards of New York. Both of those are out wherever you get your podcasts. I'm very proud of them. And I'll be at Gen Con, so if you see me and want to say hi, please do. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll pop it over to Irby.
Hello, hi, I'm Irby. Oh, hold on. Hi, my name's Irby Fitz. My pronouns are they, them. I've been Hatteris, whose pronouns are he, him, for you, and we're both here for a good time and maybe a long time. You can find me across the internet at Irby Fitz. I am the only one out there. I pinky promise. I've checked. I did it like last night. You can find me doing things all over the place. I think the biggest, the most up and coming thing is tomorrow. I will be on the Bad Ideas back rooms playing Eat the Reich. Gonna be a little cowboy vampire for you. So if you want to come over and hear more silly voices, I got more silly voices on lock for you. Otherwise, you can again find me on the internet doing internet things. You can find me on Start Playing. I think that's the most important thing I'm supposed to pitch and push for myself. And then you're like, Tay, I will be at Gen Con, so if you want to go do Gen Con-y things, find me across the internet and we can make Gen Con things happen. Passing that on to Keith. Call me. Okay, Hector, you're pointing down and I don't
Taylor.
I think
Taylor.
it's me. I think it's me.
I was going to say we're just pointing things around. I'm not
It's
looking at
Taylor.
the overlay.
I'm so sorry.
It's the Brady
I'm going by like not the overlay, but the thing that
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
Oh, and your
projecting into
video,
the overlay.
everybody is in a straight line for me on Video Ninja. So,
No, I got you. That's why that was confusing.
yeah.
No, it's me. Hi, I'm Taylor Felicity. You can find me online on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, at Roll4Felicity. I stream TTRPG stuff on Twitch. I also do video games. And the most upcoming thing that I have is on Wednesday, the 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be airing the newest episode of my Warrior Cats podcast, Warrior Chats, where myself and 2 of my friends are millennials who never read the Warrior Cats books as kids but are reading them now to see how it changes us. If you liked my character Star, heavily inspired by Warrior Cats, and in particular Yellow Fang, the best cat of all time. So yeah, that's the next thing I have coming up. And you can catch older episodes. They're all up on YouTube and some clips on TikTok. And then I'm also on Start Playing. I run different TTRPGs. You can pay me to run them for you. Right now, I think Good Society and Brindlewood Bay are like 2 of the big ones that I have been running. But I'll run just about anything. If you pay me, I'll run just about anything. And also I was producing the stream today, so shout out me for producing. And yeah, I guess I'll throw it back over to you, Hector. I don't know if there's any like channel announcements or anything like that if you want to take us on.
I believe that there is like one more stream. Oh my gosh, hold on. I'm trying to remember what it is. My brain.
Let me
messed up.
see. There's one more.
what-
We'll just say there's one more for sure.
Yes, there is one more stream.
The
Coming up.
Google.
Google.
I see you.
Yeah, but
Google,
I think that's the stream. I can't because Vivi was trying to say it on the Grand.
Oh, the Grand Guignol.
Thank
Yes,
you.
please. Grand Guignol is coming up. Grand Guignol is a fantastic Victorian queer horror.
The Grand
TTRPG.
Google.
The Grand Google. Take it to
Grand
Google.
No, Grand Guignol. Designed by Luke, who is an incredible game designer. So if you like Penny Dreadful, if you like Candela Obscura, but with a little more edge, please check out Grand Guignol as we wrap up this amazing 2-month-long Pride Month. And with that, thank you all for joining us on the journey, and we'll catch y'all later on Nerds with Dice.
Bye.